Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm glad we're able to celebrate this occasion together in a hybrid setting despite the Buffalo winter weather. I also want to say thank you to the faculty, professional, alumni, and students that are with us today. We appreciate you taking the time of your day to join us. We truly value your support. We're here today to recognize the hard work, time, and energy that our candidates have invested in themselves and in one another since they joined our chapter. Becoming a member of Beta Alpha Psi is a great achievement since we hold our member to high standards. Zeta Theta always go above and beyond the requirements, not just to prepare our members to stand out on paper, but also to help them develop a professional growth mindset that will help them to be successful in school and in their future career. We also encourage our members to be active, not just in the classroom, but in giving back to the community as well. In a few moments, we begin the initiation ceremony, and you will hear about the purpose, expectations, and meanings behind the name of Beta Alpha Psi. I encourage you, candidates, to really pay attention to what is being said. I challenge you to embrace this feeling of accomplishment and continue to challenge yourself as new members of Beta Alpha Psi. Our program is quite full today, and following the ceremony, we are pleased to invite Michael Sternberg, a past president of Zeta Theta chapter, to say a few words and to introduce our keynote speaker. I encourage you all to stay after the event as well to congratulate our new members and take photos at your schedule allows. Now, I'd like to invite our Igor to join me in the front of the room to begin our initiation ceremony.
So now, initiates, I'll ask that you stand in your spots for this portion, please. Candidates, you are pledged to a scholastic and professional organization dedicated to the advancement of financial information professions. To improve our professions, we must set our standards high. Accordingly, the purposes of Beta Alpha Psi and the Zeta Theta chapter are to instill a desire for self-improvement, to foster high moral and ethical standards, to encourage and give recognition to scholastic and professional excellence, to cultivate a sense of responsibility and service, to promote the collegiate study of financial information, and to promote for its members opportunities to associate with practicing professionals. Our organization endeavors to stimulate interest in financial information professions. This can be accomplished in large measure by participation in the activities of this chapter. Membership in Beta Alpha Psi is recognition of your scholastic and professional accomplishments. But equally important, membership acknowledges a capacity for professional success. Membership imposes upon you the obligation to accept a responsible place in the organization and later in the professions of financial information.
Your scholastic records indicate your competence in the technical aspect of financial information, in addition to accounting, finance, business analytics, or digital technology knowledge. A successful professional career will require personal and professional qualities. Honesty and intellectual integrity are the foundation upon which financial information professions are built. Your future association with Beta Alpha Psi to help you to identify and and develop those qualities necessary for a successful professional career, such as loyal service, respect for confidence, professional bearing, responsible behavior, due regard for professional appearance, and the ability to communicate with others. We have reviewed your past accomplishments and have evaluated your future potential. We judge you worthy to join us in our organizational endeavors. We expect you to participate fully in our program to build a better organization and through it, a better business community. Let us consider three personal attributes that will make your membership more effective. First, maintain your intellectual curiosity throughout your career. Keep in mind your primary purpose here at the university. Scholastic excellence is of great importance to you as well as to the organization. Second, strive to maintain a high standard of personal responsibility. Because of the nature of the work of a financial information professional, it is essential that you be a person of integrity, conducting yourself with honor in all situations. Third, cultivate a genuine tolerance of the attitudes, opinions, and personal characteristics of others. If you practice the attributes of scholarship, responsibility, and tolerance, you will exemplify the ideals for which our organization stands and which are fundamental for the well-being of society. Emma, our reporting secretary, will now explain the meaning of organization emblems.
The emblem of the Beta Alpha Psi denotes the promise of careers for business information professionals. The rising sun signifies these professional positions as rising ever higher among economic activities. The crossed key symbolizes knowledge as a means of opening doors of the financial world. The letters Beta, Alpha, and Psi denote scholarship, social responsibility, and practicality, respectively. Jackie, our treasurer, will now administer the Pledge of Membership.
Having become acquainted with the purposes and responsibilities of membership in Beta Alpha Psi, will you accept them? If so, answer, I will.
I will.
Please raise your right hand and repeat the membership pledge after me. I do solemnly promise
I do solemnly promise
that I will abide by the International Constitution
that I will abide by the International Constitution
and chapter bylaws of Beta Alpha Psi
and chapter bylaws of Beta Alpha Psi
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I further promise to maintain
I further promise to maintain
the highest moral and scholastic standing
the highest moral and scholastic standing
and always foster the ideals
and always foster the ideals
and purposes of Beta Alpha Psi.
and purposes of Beta Alpha Psi.
You may lower your hand. Now I'll turn it over to Professor Hu.
Very good. Welcome, everyone. It is my pleasure then to read off the names of our initiates, and we'll have our president and vice president of candidates share with you your membership pin and your membership certificate. When your name is called, if you could please come up and receive those, and then stay up here. We'll do a picture right afterward. Okay? Alejandro Adorno. Catriel Agregado. Colleen Chen. Wewen Chen. Andrew Chin. William Du Bois. Giovanni Finney. Justin Froese. Dishita Golani. Vanessa Ho. Connor Gerudis. Amy Lian. Yutong Lin. Timothy Morris. Mac Neuwirth. Mitchell Reisig. Vicky Wang. Jack Whitwer. Ting Zhang. I'm also very pleased to honor Ryan Fortman. Ryan, you can come on up and join our picture. Ryan was initiated this fall, so we wanted to make sure I included him in this celebration of our 2021-2022 BAP initiates. So thank you so much. I'm going to pause here and allow us to all congratulate our new initiates. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to have, if I could have maybe, is Jackie around? Jackie, do you want to maybe take a photo, or could I have, maybe I'll have Emily. Emily's getting ready. Then we can have one up here. Then you can stay up here.
Back, shoulders in front. Yep, everyone get in front of me.
I'll be right. I got you. Do you want just the initiative photos?
Sure.
Wonderful. We'll do an official photo op afterward too, but this is the exciting part. Welcome. You guys can have a seat. All right. I am now pleased to invite one of our alumni to introduce our keynote speaker. And this is a tall task, given that our keynote, Professor Ampadu, needs no introduction in most any room. I am so thankful, though, for my friend to join us, find his way back to Buffalo, and take the time to share a few words with us this morning, highlighting the vast impact and impact that he's had on the chapter, as well as us individually, many accomplishments of Professor Ampadu. Michael Steenberg, past president of the chapter, is currently corporate controller at PAR Technology. And prior to that, had roles in public accounting that took him from New York City to Tokyo to Pittsburgh and others. Really happy to invite my friend back to share with us the biggest reason that Mike is sharing today is our shared role as mentee of Professor Ampadu. When I was back in school, when Michael was back in school, we had the honor of serving on the Beta Alpha Psi e-board for the last e-board that Professor Ampadu was faculty advisor. So I'm really thrilled to welcome back my friend, Michael Steenbridge.
Thank you so much, Rose. Good morning, everyone. Congratulations to all of our inductees. And
Mike, we can't hear you for a minute. Let's test that out.
How's that? Am I with you? Good morning, Rose. Can you hear me?
Oh, that was really quiet. I think I can hear you now. Can you turn that up?
I removed the auxiliary. Is this loud enough for everybody if I speak up?
So it sounds like the folks online can hear, but maybe not in our room. Sorry, give us just one moment. Press one more time, Mike.
Yes, good morning, Rose.
Perfect. Thank you for your
Okay.
patience.
Of course.
We're good.
Great. As I mentioned, it's a joy to be with you all this morning and a true privilege to introduce today's keynote speaker. A faculty member at the University of Buffalo School of Management since 1986, Professor Ampadu received his Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Ghana and holds an MBA from the Rochester Institute of Technology. Along with his professional degrees, he's a certified public accountant in the state of New York, certified management accountant, certified internal auditor, among many other credentials. Always one to contribute his talents far beyond traditional expectation, Professor Ampadu has been a member of the New York State Society of CPAs since 1981, serving in several capacities, including the Career Opportunities in the Accounting Profession Buffalo Advisory Board and the Foundation for Accounting Education's Campus Ambassador Committee. He also chaired the Promoting CPA Careers Committee and the Minority Group Recruitment and Equal Opportunity Committee. Additionally, Professor Ampadu has served as a member of the AICPA Minority Initiatives Committee and chaired its Accounting Scholars Leadership Task Force. Professor Ampadu has always been a national instructor for much of his career for the KPMG Experienced Professionals. He's been a recipient of the PwC Faculty Fellowship and of the Becker Professional Education Award to a senior fellow member in recognition of excellence in teaching and service to students. Professor Ampadu is also listed in Who's Who among American teachers. In addition to all of this remarkable service to the profession, Professor Ampadu's service here at the University of Buffalo School of Management has been incredibly impactful. For years, students have benefited from his sincerity and his selfless and passionate dedication to helping them succeed, both inside and outside the classroom. He regularly engages alumni and other practitioners in his courses, class projects, and in the student clubs he has advised. His consistent and unabashed advocacy of the school's accounting program and its students is legendary. He uses his vast network, both locally and across the state, to improve job search prospects for School of Management students, and he constantly promotes the quality of the accounting program at the University of Buffalo School of Management. Professor Ampadu is the founder and faculty advisor of the School of Management Minority Alliance and the developer and director of UB's IIA-endorsed internal audit track in the MS Accounting program, one of only 34 such programs in the world. The methods he uses for practical enrichment have been heralded by the Institute of Internal Auditors and culminated in multiple presentations at their annual Educators Forum. One of his proudest moments, well known given his trademark storytelling, was Professor Ampadu's time as an honorary coach, coaching the UB Bulls to a Hail Mary victory. As he retired as a coach immediately after the win, he loves to say he has a 100% NCAA Division I winning record. Some alumni still affectionately call him Coach. Professor Ampadu is the recipient of multiple awards for leadership and teaching, including the Dr. Emmanuel Sachs Outstanding CPA in Education, the School of Management Undergraduate Teacher of the Year, School of Management Alumni Association's Faculty Award for Alumni Engagement, the Career Resource Center Award for Excellence in Service to Accounting Graduates, and a 4-time winner of the Milton Pleasure Award for Excellence in Teaching. The first recipient in the award's history to be honored 4 times. The annual award recognizing outstanding professors who create an atmosphere of creativity, enthusiasm, participation in their classrooms. Students nominate instructors from across the university who have inspired, excited, or positively affected them. A true testament to all that Professor Ampadu has contributed. And the ways that Professor Ampadu has inspired and positively affected students certainly carried through his service to Beta Alpha Psi. He has served as the regional director of the Atlantic Coast, as well as on the National Board of Directors for Beta Alpha Psi, and as a faculty advisor to our Zeta Theta chapter for many years. He has been honored as a 2-time recipient of the Beta Alpha Psi Faculty Advisor of the Year, and as a recipient of the Presidential Award for Dedication and Service to Beta Alpha Psi. But most importantly, on top of all these prestigious accolades, Professor Ampadu has been an unwavering and dedicated mentor and friend to so many students and alumni over the years, many of whom we are so pleased could join us here today. It's a natural part of life for contacts and friends to both come and go, with a rare few that last over the decades. And so it's been a true blessing personally to have held on to this one with a man who first provided tutelage in the classroom, mentorship in my early days of leadership development, and ultimately friendship rooted in many memorable meals and thoughtful conversations shared from right here in Buffalo all the way to the izakayas of Tokyo, Japan. Beta supporters, members of the past, present, and future, please join me in welcoming our teacher, our mentor, our friend, Professor Alex Ampadu.
Hey, thank you very much, Michael. I wish we were back in Tokyo. Tokyo has never been the same since you and I went out that night. It's been different. You know, it took him so long to introduce me. I was given only 15 minutes and he took about 10 minutes for the introduction. So we're gonna try and make this within just the 15 minutes. Yes, because today it's not about me. It's about those young men and young women who are joining the most prestigious accounting association in the world. And I'll add my congratulations to all the congratulations you'll be receiving today. Most of you, not if all of you, are in my class. So I did ask Professor Hu's permission to give you a test, a quiz today, and that will come out. So listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to give you a quiz on it. Okay. All right. Beta Alpha Psi is near and dear to my heart. Our chapter has been around for about 40 years now, 42, I think exactly. Well, for those years, I was the faculty advisor. In fact, in my first 6 years, they used to call the faculty advisor faculty vice president. And then they changed it to faculty advisor. I was also honored to serve on the board of Beta Alpha Psi and become the regional director of it for the Atlantic Coast that has schools from Maine to Virginia, before the schools in Boston and New York and so on. It was very hectic, teaching full-time and being responsible for those chapters. But all I can remember are the good, excellent relationships and what I had in meeting a whole lot of people and a whole lot of people that I work with. So congratulations for joining. But the key thing is to take a look at our chapter, Zeta Theta. Throughout the time that I've been around, since the late 80s to present, you cannot name 10 latest chapters without mentioning Zeta Theta. A number of things have happened through what we have done here as a chapter. When we hold regional and national meetings, I think Bob Brooker is on the line somewhere. When we held a national meeting in Toronto, years after that, everybody used to talk about the mother of all meetings. The same way when we held the regional meeting in Boston, your dear faculty advisor, she and a number of people went to Boston to survey the hotel that we will be holding the regional meeting there. So it was a perfect occasion. Years after that, when I went to conferences, people talk about the meeting that you held in Boston. A number of programs in the national scene that started from here. Okay. You know, the international meeting that you hold is preceded by community activity. It started because of our representatives in a meeting down in Virginia Beach, the best practice presentation that said each chapter is doing something to help their community. Why don't we leave a mark when all of us, the national chapters, get together and hold a national meeting? And the national office bought out on it. So today I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. And by the way, the rest of you, if I don't say anything about you, today is their day. So I'm not addressing everything to them, okay? Can I be very creative? You gotta really leave it, because I went to the site yesterday. It said, leave it better than you found it. Be creative about your programming. Be bold to bring in new ways of doing things. Right now, you have some masters people as part of your e-board, and I think it's going to carry on for a while. What are you doing to really make them interested? Outside of the programs that you have already. Now, the advice though is that if it ain't broken, and today I'm going to use a lot of slangs, is what I'm going to talk to you about. If it ain't broken, leave it alone. But it's also said, leave it in a better shape than you found it. So think of how you can embellish the programs that are already in existence, and what other things you can do to really get people excited and motivated to be all you can. In doing so, you should also think about, the way that is being used regularly these days. People think about sustainability. The 12 years I was faculty advisor. Certain years we went so high up because of the e-board and the creation. And then a couple of years we will fall down because the new people coming in did not have the experience, and maybe we didn't train them enough to continue the things that we have established. Make sure that you recruit people into the organization and take the time to really help them learn the ropes, so when you leave, the high standards that you've created will be continued in the future. Very, very important. Okay. So, besides certain things like our winning the gold award every year. We don't even take a look at our program to see whether we are going to win it because it's automatic. And you have to maintain all those things. There are other remarkable achievements, and I'm not going to go through all the history. Take, for instance, though, Mr. Brooker. He became the alumni representatives on the board of Beta Alpha Psi. Beta Alpha Psi was born in 1919. So 1994, we were celebrating the 75th anniversary of Beta Alpha Psi. Beta Alpha Psi history had not been chronicled before. They wanted somebody to do that. That's where they looked, to the Zeta Theta chapter. Our former president spent a whole year traveling from Illinois, where the whole birth of Beta Alpha Psi started, to areas like Ohio State and so on and so forth, to gather everything else and put that into a video. During those times, video was a big thing. That was our technology. And obviously, he was a little bit biased in what he put together because that chapter was prominently featured. Yours truly, at that time, I had a lot more hair before my students started tearing the hair out. Was featured in 2 or 3 of his slips. So as I said, you have a big shoe to fill. I know you are going to be able to do it. I trust you will do it. So the second part of what advice I'll give you will be based on a number of quotations from people, past people that I respected, I think in high school or even lower. You heard quotations from something like John F. Kennedy. Everybody here knows his most popular quotation. You shouldn't ask what your country should do for you, but what you can do for the country. There are other people I respect who have other quotations that I want to bring into focus in charging you as what's really important. You can't give a speech without quoting something from Dr. King. And Dr. King says, I can do great things, and when I can do great things, I do little things, but I do the small things I do in a great way. Then there was a 19th century poet who put together a hymn that is sung in most churches, or used to be. And what she wrote was, do not wait until some deed of greatness that you may do. Do not wait to shed your light afar. Brighten the corner where you are. One more quote. You probably don't know much about Mother Teresa, an incredible woman. She spent her time with people who were less fortunate. She spent most of her time with people with leprosy. Leprosy is a communicable disease. You can get it easily. She won the Nobel Prize. She gave the $1 million away easily. But she has some important quotations that go with the story I'm going to tell you. She says something like, small things done with great love will change the world. Another quotation, if you cannot feed 100 people, then feed one. I think you know where I'm getting to. And something that I actually got from your Beta Alpha Psi site. It says, be all you can be. And to be all you can be, it's very important that you think of what you have, the resources you have. I have a habit of talking about the 3 T's: your talent, your treasure, and your time. Economists tell us that resources are scarce, and they are. But don't use that as an excuse for making a difference, for brightening the corner where you are. Because you can always say, I don't have enough. And when I have enough, then I will do something. And you will never get something done. Because if you have $1, you can give a dime or a nickel to somebody to make that person's day. Your time, the 30 minutes or so that you will spend with a junior achievement teenager can make a whole lot of difference. So let me share an actual story with you. I have a lot of stories. When I retire, I'm going to be writing a lot of books. Make sure you buy them. It's one though that I have to go through, and I'll try to make it as quickly as possible. They gave me 15 minutes, knowing that I'll double the time. So I know I have 30 minutes to talk. They always do play that psychological thing on me. Well, one time I was teaching 4 classes, intermediate accounting 1. During those times, we had room enough to have our student clubs have their own offices. So Beta Alpha Psi had its own office. A lot of those people watching us now can tell you, we had our own office. So John walks in on a Monday, the Thanksgiving week, where we break on Tuesday. And he said, Professor Ampadu, we have a problem. And I don't like my students saying we have a problem. An 18th century poet in London says, words are dangerous. Watch which words you use, because they can affect your psychological thoughts. So I call the problem opportunity. Okay. Because if I ask you to really define why are you joining Beta Alpha Psi, I don't want you to tell me about solving problems. Beta Alpha Psi is really a platform of opportunities. Okay. So when John said we had a problem, he caught himself. So he said, no, Professor Ampadu, we have an opportunity. And I said, what opportunity? He said, I was in the office there, the phone rang, I picked it up, and Gloria Parks Community Center says they are short 14 turkeys for the family who sign up for free turkeys. And I said, yes. So what did you tell them? That I told them we will call them back. And I said, John, you know our fund balance is like $100. Are we going to solve this? While he was talking to me, he was looking on my desk. And on my desk, I had a couple of bowls that I used to put my change in. See, because during those times, we used something called cash. You know, I know you don't know anything about cash, but cash is not when you're up, you push it and make payments. No. So if you bought something for, say, 20 cents, and you gave $1, you may receive 80 pennies. Imagine putting 80 pennies in your pocket. So what I used to do is I'll come to the office and I'll put them in a jar. So after we were talking, John was looking at my jar. He kept looking at it and he said, for example, I got it. And I said, you got what? He said, see those? If you give that to us, we will start with it. I'll recruit some better people and we'll go around, because you are not the only person who puts pennies and change into jars. I have seen them in other professors' offices and even the staff and administration people. And really, my ego was blown out. I said, I thought I was the only one who was saving for my retirement in my office. But he said other people were doing it. And I said, so what do you want me to do? He said, just give me the go ahead. I will get some people and go. They had an exam Tuesday morning before they would leave. They were going to leave for Thanksgiving. So that afternoon, while I went to my 2 classes, he recruited some people, 5 people. When I came from, 5 o'clock when I came to my office, they were standing there with bags, keys, and so on that they have collected. And John said to me, he said, we didn't even touch O'Brien and, Pippin and all that. And I told him, I said, John, if we didn't touch O'Brien, that's okay. But Pippin, you have to go there. When you go there, go all the way to the top because there's a gentleman out there who is the president of the university. He will have a deep pocket. If we are really collecting pennies, he will be giving dollars. So go there. So to cut a long story short, the next day, right after the exam, John and his girlfriend was not even a Zeta Theta chapter person. They called their parents. John was going back to Syracuse, on Onondaga County. It has snowed like it has snowed now. Gave up the time, called the parents and said, we will be home on Wednesday morning because something came up. He recruited more people. Half of them were not even Beta people. And they went to the other areas. President Reiner's office, he didn't go there. But they went to the other areas. And by 2 o'clock Tuesday, had all these bags of coins. That was phase 1. We had to do phase 2 because we had to get the turkeys. So late. We went to one of the grocery stores. They had only 8 turkeys. But that was good because that was more than half of what we needed. Got the manager involved, and the manager said, well, that's all we have. So we went to another grocery store. And by the way we got the change into real dollars was that one of those areas had the coins sorted. So we had to put all that through to get the amount. So from there, we went to another grocery store. They had only 4 turkeys, so we are up to 12. But the manager there heard our story, and he said, I'm going to call our other offices, other stores to see whether they have turkeys left. Because it was the last minute. He did, and one of the suburban stores said they had 2 turkeys. So we drove all the way there. We were in 3 cars when we went. And then we went there, we had money left for only 2 turkeys. They had 3 turkeys. They gave us 1 for free. And just in our talking, the manager said, you are all set for the trimmings, right? And we said, trimmings? What trimmings? He said, well, you don't expect the families to just have a roasted turkey for dinner on Thanksgiving, did you? And we said, well, number 1, we didn't think about it. Number 2, more importantly, we don't have any more money left. But he was impressed by what we were doing, that he said, okay, listen, you take the turkeys there, come back in an hour. We don't have more turkeys left, but we will put the trimmings together for you for free. So we took the turkeys there, we got back, and they had 6 boxes piled with cranberry, all the things you can think about, bread, pie, and so on. We took them to Gloria Center there, Gloria Park Center. And the executive director there was besides himself. Not only did we have 15 turkeys instead of 14, but we had a trimming, which initially we didn't think about. By that time, some of our members were gone. Those who were left, the 5 of them, you should have seen their faces. They were giving high fives. They were smiling like you wouldn't believe. That's what I call using your talent, your time. Not too much of our treasure because we didn't have much money except my pennies that they took from my office. I don't believe that they enjoy their Thanksgiving dinner as much as they enjoy being able to get something that will feed 15 needed families. Families who went to get free turkeys from the center, who were told we don't have any more turkeys left. We're all back. Just imagine, all of a sudden, they could sit down on Thursday and have a family dinner. The spirit of the officer. It wasn't planned. Outside of the fact that they line up for a picture, I didn't line up with them because I don't look good at post pictures. But I also wanted to emphasize that it wasn't me. They planned it. They did it. And they did it. When John came in, he didn't say they have a problem. He said, we have a problem. And I actually stopped him because I tell my students, I'll tell you, words, according to a British quote, words kill people more than any disease. Just think of when you broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and and I have a friend, a high school friend who is at University of Chicago. He is very difficult to talk to because when you use certain words, he will tell you those words can have effect on your psyche. For instance, if we are discussing something and I said, it's critically important, he will say, anytime you hear critical, it's called an ambulance, right? So it affects your psyche. So I tell people, it's opportunity. It's not a problem. If you've taken a vacation with your parents down to the Caribbean and other places, you think they don't have a problem. If you tell them something, oh, I don't eat pork, can I get fish for the dinner or whatever? You say, no problem, man. Even if you're a woman, they'll say, man, no problem, man. You go ahead instead of making it a problem. So he said, we have an opportunity. He came up with a solution. I don't think he was thinking of my penis when he was leaving the beta office to my office, but he knew I'll ask him for a solution. Like I tell you when I'm teaching you, when you start working, you don't go to your boss with a problem and say, the client, oh, this is our problem, without thinking of a solution. The people who get the blue ribbon, they go there and say, the clients called, they said they're going to purchase this company and this and that and that. And then they will come up with a solution. When they purchase, this is what I think and so on. That's how you approach your boss, not just with a problem. So John thought of the thing, looking at my penis and saying, we will start from your penis and you go to every office. That's what ended up feeding 15 families. Dr. Martin Luther King can do great things. I'll do small things. Madam Teresa, small things done with great love will change the world. If you cannot feed 100 people, feed one. What does it mean to you? You have Beta Alpha Psi as a platform of opportunity. Opportunities come with responsibilities. Don't justify things by saying, I don't have time. Don't justify things by saying, I'm not rich enough to do this. Because the small things save the world. And along the side, though, one of the things comes in that sometimes you just have to start it. And then you build a village around you. People will join along the line. It started from my office. We didn't hold a meeting and ask some people to join. John just asked some of his friends and so on, including his girlfriend, who wasn't a Beta Alpha Psi member. And he kept on going. The managers at the grocery stores. Another quotation that Madam Teresa has is that I can do some things that you cannot. And you can do some things that I cannot. But together, we can make a difference. You know that manager who said, you all set with your trimmings? We were not thinking about that. But he joined the village that John was putting together. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Your resources may be limited, but it doesn't mean you cannot make a difference. When you introduce something, you may get other people joining you to do that. Just one more example and I'll end it because I think my 30 minutes are coming up. I used to help our development people raise funds. And two examples I got. And see how these two things differ. One person said to me, you know, I graduated not too long ago. So give me time, you know, I can give you 200 or 500 now, but give me time. Maybe in 5 to 6 years, I'll get a lot of money and then I'll come and build a library at UB and name it after you. So I told him, I'll take the $500 because my students need that for scholarship to do their MS program. Contrast that with another person. The same way. Graduated, have 2 children now, and so on. And he gave $1,000, but this is what he said. He said, I wish I can give more. But at this stage, you know, those responsibilities are starting. But I tell you what I will do. I will call my other classmates and the people who were around when I was in school. Some of the people are actually tutored and so on, that you haven't reached yet. And tell them this is what you are doing so that some of them will give also. And then because my $1,000 is just a drop in the bucket. Those are the two different situations. The other person was just thinking of how much you will give. This person was thinking about, I'm going to help more than just what I will give. That's the difference. So hear me out here. Beta Alpha Psi is a platform of opportunity. Seize the opportunity. Go out there and do the little things. They matter. The little things how to save the world. If you can't do big things, do the little things very well. Thank you so much for bringing me to be part of your celebration. Congratulations again. I know you are going to do great. Use those talents, the treasury, and the time, because you can make a difference and save the world. Thank you.
All right, Alex, I have to have you stay up here for just a minute. Sydney and I, on behalf of the chapter, just want to thank you for your support, your mentorship, for keeping the bar high, expecting high standards, desiring greatness. On behalf of myself as an alum, also just as a fellow colleague, I want to thank you for everything that you have been as my teacher, my mentor, my friend, my colleague, all of that to these and so many others on the line. It's great to see that we've got 42 other people on Zoom with us as well, that I know many of you, in fact, I received so many wonderful messages, wished you could be here in person. And yes, this is a day for you all as initiates, but we're so pleased to be able to have you share your wisdom with us and have a small token of our appreciation to share with you as well. Beloved professor, legendary faculty advisor. And so we're going to share our gift with you. I'm going to let Sydney open it up a little bit so we can share what we're going to do with this. But it's a photo album that is engraved on the front. So you can remember that you are well loved and thought of as that legendary professor, okay? And I know we're setting a time. Our schedules haven't worked for the three of us, right? But we're going to set a time to go through all of those legacy photos, so that you can select some that you'd like to keep as your keepsakes, and we'll help fill that photo album for you. Alex.
I do not deserve any award. Yeah. When Michael introduced me and said that I've been faculty advisor of the year 2 times, my second time of being faculty advisor, they gave me 2 minutes to say something.
2 minutes is never enough.
No, it was enough then, because they make sure that they gave me the sign like, hey, your time is up. It's the students. I got up there and I said, I didn't win this award. It's my members. You are the one who are creative. You come up with the plan, you execute the plan, and I just get the reward at the end. So it is not what I did. It's really our students charging up. It's nice though, just like when they pass the CP exam, so that I can tell people, hey, 8 consecutive years we were #1 in the state, but I didn't study. You did. And
You get the bragging rights of all of your student success. That's what happens. But we are so grateful. Thank you again for being our keynote speaker. We do have another alum that would like to say a few words as well. I'm pleased to have, and Sydney, I'm going to ask you to spotlight Nav Parahar join us. He is another past president of the Zeta Theta chapter from 05 to 06, and currently a vice president with Goldman Sachs in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we'll probably just go to maybe participants here. Yep. We're gonna spotlight Nav.
You guys hear me?
A few words. Yes, we can hear you.
All right, Professor Amputi, did you really think that I would let this go without saying some words for you? I certainly hope you didn't. I thought I would start by just, I'll take a few minutes just to share a story that the students might appreciate. Congratulations to everybody. I remember being a student and thinking, going into senior year, I'm not going to join the e-board. I've done my time with Beta in my junior year. I'm going to enjoy the senior year and just relax ahead of the real world starting. And he sat me down at the end of that junior year and said, no, you're going to run for president and you're going to be on the e-board. And I tried every bit I could to not do it. And he tried every bit to do it, including calling alums to talk to me. And alas, he won out. I ran and I joined the e-board, and I have to say, and reflecting back years later, I'm glad he did it, it was painful because I really didn't want to, but I think that what sort of got me through it was a great learning experience and a great platform, as Professor Amp has been saying, to kind of go into the real world with. And years later, I think that the network and the relationships you form with some of the people, I still keep in touch with the board members from that year, I think is truly lasting. So I thought you guys would appreciate that. I think it's a great opportunity for you guys as students to make an impact, to raise the bar. There are things that our chapter did before, sort of when I was involved, that we raised the bar on, and certainly years after, such as Michael and Rose and others, they've raised the bar further. And I think that I have no doubt you guys will continue to do the same thing. I think I appreciated Professor Ampadu most for his wise counsel over the years. Of late, I usually go to him with life major impacting, sort of news or decisions, and he's usually taken aback, but always a good counsel and always been helpful. I think the other big thing with Professor Ampadu over the years has been him cultivating relationships with alums. I don't think it's a far-fetched statement, and I think most alums will agree with me. A lot of us who are far away have kept in touch with the school, with other faculty members, with other students, and stayed involved with student organizations in a large way because of Professor Ampadu and his sort of outreach to us and cultivating the relationships. So I think that that's something to be really truly underscored and recognized. So I truly really appreciate that. I think, Rose, that's all I've got to say. I know you guys are running short on time, but I thought I would at least get some words in for appreciation for Professor Ampadu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nav. All right, we are running short on time, but really appreciate all of you being here. And I'm going to turn it over to Sydney Merritt to share our chapter update. And I know we're sharing with you our disclosure newsletter as well. So it's hard to share all of the amazing things that the chapter is doing. Sydney's going to do her best, but you can also read about that in our disclosure newsletter. If you haven't seen that pushed through the Zoom meeting already, we'll send it out via email afterward as well.
All right, hello everyone. And once again, thank you for joining us to celebrate the 2022 Zeta Theta chapter initiation. We're here to honor our most recent class of candidates and all that they've invested to reach this moment. As I reflect on this past year with our chapter, it brings to mind thoughts of appreciation for just the ability to operate in this hybrid environment, and awe at our candidates and members' dedication to one another. Our chapter continues to advance and grow year after year as we work to the best of our ability to develop as the future leaders of the business information world. In August of 2021, our chapter attended the annual meeting following a first place win at regionals. And at the conference, our chapter's success only continued as we placed first in our category across all of Beta Alpha Psi. This multi-year project centered around sustainable investment in diverse leaders, and we met with people all across the greater Buffalo area. We talked with young adults at a refugee center about understanding credit. We participated with Junior Achievement in Western New York to record videos about soft skills for high school and middle school age students. And we also sat with fourth graders in a special ed classroom to just act as classroom buddies. Threaded throughout all of these interactions, there was a common goal. We wanted to act as role models and just be a part of giving them the tools that they need to build a bright future. Throughout the fall, our chapter continued to strive for excellence. In September, we hosted a networking workshop and received incredible support from our friends in the Accounting Advisory Council. This two-day affair featured Mike Draves and Mark Tronconi leading a presentation on how to network and especially how to make the most of one of our biggest events of the fall, Meet the Professionals. The following day, we had 8 AAC members come in for a dinner and speed dating style social. This way our members could practice what they had just learned. And our relationship with the AAC has only continued to grow. And we're so thankful for each of the members that have so kindly given their time and shared their wisdom with us. Furthermore, in October, we actually launched the AAC mentorship program where the professionals have so kindly volunteered to serve as mentors for our top membership. Only 15 students were selected from a thorough application and interview process, and our members have only been able to grow and learn so much about the professional world thanks to their investment in our chapter. Of course, community involvement and stepping outside of the academic arena continues to be a cornerstone of the Zeta Theta chapter. We continued our 4-year partnership with the Ronald McDonald House in Buffalo. Of course, due to COVID restrictions, our involvement was constrained to just the exterior of the house, and we had limited interactions with the guests that were staying there. It was still a wonderful experience as we had the opportunity to prep the house for winter and even got to dress up with them for Halloween and give away some candy. We also volunteered with the Parkinson's Moving Day event, and as a part of the setup and teardown team, we really just got to interact with the families, to share time, be a friendly face as they're working to really raise awareness and support for this illness. This was our 2nd year partnering with this group, and we look forward to many, many more years with them. We also began a new relationship with Buffalo Collegiate Charter School, a group dedicated to promoting higher education among students from underrepresented minority groups. To kick off our new partnership, we hosted a school supplies drive, and it was a competition among 4 other clubs in the School of Management. And thanks to all of the efforts of the clubs that were involved, we donated over 200 items. And this included notebooks, binders, writing utensils, masks, cleaning supplies, and just a whole host of other items. We look forward to continuing our partnership with them and are looking to engage in a more consistent weekly basis of meeting with these students throughout the spring semester. Another area where I am just so excited to see our chapter evolving is the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. Last year, we were forced to shift to an entirely remote setting and partnered with the Buffalo Federation of Neighborhood Centers to accomplish this task. Now, I am so pleased to share that we will actually be fully back in person and entirely student run for the 2022 tax season. We learned a great deal even in this remote setting, and as a result, we rethought our training practices and we've taken steps to improve the client experience, like offering those pre-scheduled appointments. And as an internal beta community, we've also just grown together as we've continued our peer-to-peer mentorship program, where our seniors and our graduate students will mentor the younger students. And we've held several social events like bowling and pumpkin picking. We did a dinner social, and of course, the beloved Amphidu Bowl, which for the first time in history, Beta Alpha Psi actually won. I have witnessed so much kindness and care demonstrated among our community. We check in with one another, we study together, and we just go through college together. This kind of unity and support system has been crucial in building our chapter, and there is so much more to come in the spring. It's been an honor to share with you what our chapter has been up to and shed some light on what we are planning for the coming semester. We're committed to exemplifying the values of our emblem that signifies scholarship, social responsibility, and practicality. Thank you again for joining us, and I look forward to keeping you updated as the semester progresses. With that, our initiation ceremony has concluded. Please feel free to stay behind, get some coffee, chat with our initiates. Once again, congratulations, everyone. Thank you.